If you're making music in this era and you throw a compressor on the master channel with the makeup gain as high as possible, you're doing it completely wrong. The loudness war is over. The loudness war started way back when the recording industry was in its primitive stages. It was the war between the recording engineer and the equipment. Back then, the audio interfaces, mic preamps, microphones, and the recording systems as whole were not as good as they are today. There used to be a static noise in the background which would not be eliminated by simply lowering the gain. You had to record as loud as possible so that you could suppress the static noise in the background. That's how the war started. Today it is more about making yourself presentable, making your tracks radio ready from the get go, and making your tracks harder than your rivals on SoundCloud. If you're mixing properly with gain staging at the beginning of your mixing process, you lose a lot of volume, in turn gaining some headroom. That's what you wanted. The backdrop, the track becomes quieter. That's where mastering comes into play. Now, 90% of producers I know master their tracks themselves, and one thing I've noticed about them is that they overcompress their songs. There are no dynamics left in the song anymore. That's not a good thing. Learn mastering. Learn how audio works. Learn what is the difference between a WAV file and an MP3 file. Learn what dithering means. If you don't want to learn all this stuff, hire a mastering engineer. Proper mastering can take your track from good to awesome. Even after technological advances in the past 20 years or so, the loudness war was not over until a few years back. Today, the selling of physical CDs of albums has reduced significantly as people tend to stream songs on platforms such as Spotify and Beatport, which use a thing called normalization, which makes your songs louder or quieter based on an algorithm. So, technically, all songs on Spotify, Beatport, and most of the other song sharing platforms, including iTunes, are as loud as other songs. The only exception here is SoundCloud, but still, you don't need to make your track too loud. If your track retains the dynamics while touching the 0 dB mark only on the peaks, it's loud enough. You don't have to squash it any further. And that's it for today. If you like the video, please drop a like. If you like my content, please subscribe. Keep making great music. Peace.